Firstly, before I start this video, I just wanted to say welcome to my new studio. And I'm not even recording right yet on the actual complete setup. I'm just recording from my phone, but I do have a lovely mic here that I eventually use. Go over there. But I brought out a video yesterday, which was literally pretty much my live reaction on our sacking of Tony Mowbray. So I had no information at all. I just started to see a few of the comments coming through, but no information at all of why and basically what had happened. But here it is. Some of it is pure speculation and gossip that I've read, and some of them are factual that I've read on different articles over today. But I did want to start out with saying it's not a massive surprise in terms of our history with managing and the lack of time we give them, because stat-wise here, over the past 10 years, we have had 10 managerial changes, and that's not including the caretakers that have taken on the role during the times, that 10 actual employed managers that have come through the Stadium of Light doors. And over the past 20 years, we have had 18 managers. That is mental. That is just mad. Literally nearly a manager every year for the past 20 years. Yes, some managers have lasted longer, and some managers have lasted maybe only a few 12, 13 games or so. I'm pretty sure like how many games Paolo Di Canio lasted. But again, fan favourite. Everyone loved Paolo Di Canio, apart from his absolutely mental amount of signing he made that just never gelled together. But enough about that. We're here to talk about Tony Mowbray and why he left Sunderland. So in Tony Mowbray's time at the Stadium of Light, he was in charge for 65 games. In that, Sunderland won 26, drew 18 and lost 21, which is not a bad record at all, considering he took over from Alex Neil's sudden departure right at the beginning of the season on the night of a big important game against Norwich, came in and superbly steadied the ship, and not only that, masterfully took us to the playoff semi-final. Albeit we got knocked out, but we got there, and that is the main thing. So one of the rumours in which the reason why Tony Mowbray was sacked was because he wasn't backed by the board, i.e. Speakman mainly, because he's the main one. KLD is more of, I would say, a silent owner. He doesn't seem to get involved as much. Speakman more the involvement in the club, and I feel like they want a manager that is going to be a yes man, which is not a good thing. We don't want that. And another rumour on top of that was that because of this, they were wanting to get rid of Jack Clarke. For the money, obviously, that he's getting in, not because he's a bad player. And Jack Clarke is a massive asset for the club, and he would be an absolutely massive loss if we were to lose him. And if this rumour is true, then I can imagine Tony Mowbray not being happy at all about the prospect of losing Jack Clarke in the January transfer window, if they have said that. Again, this is all speculation. I'm not saying it happened. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying it is speculation and rumours that I have read and seen several times throughout the forums and on a few articles as well. So if that is the case, then you can understand that Tony Mowbray wouldn't have been happy, as I'm not happy with Jack Clarke. He's one of my favourite players. He played 19 games this season. He scored 10 of them, on top of him doing fantastically last season as well. So he would be an absolutely massive loss if we were to sell him in January. We just can't sell him. Just do not sell him. We cannot do it. we'll be done. Unless we get Amad Diallo. But no, he is an asset to the club, and we need to keep Jack Clarke. Or lastly and thirdly, was it because they only brought Tony Mowbray in to stabilise the club? And he did that, and they never expected to keep him on for another season. But then with our surprise of us getting to the playoff, I mean, because we've just got up from League One, that wasn't a surprise for us to go straight up to the playoffs. They thought, okay, we'll keep him on a bit longer, because we actually did a lot better than we thought, and maybe we might even then go up. And then they've seen where we are now, and they're like, okay, maybe we're not. So yeah, we're now into time to get rid of him. So was he just brought in as a temporary thing, and was always a temporary thing, but never made aware of this? Or was it just because we're on a bad run of form at the moment? I feel like at the moment, and it's not just Sunderland, but managers, they can come and go very, very quickly nowadays. You very rarely get a manager that stays for a long-term period. Wenger, Ferguson, etc. Yeah, they were in charge of very good players at a very good time, and expertly took them to different trophies. But in our situation, and even in Swansea's as well, like they've lost their manager. Sheffield United, you can see too, but they are very, very badly struggling in the Premier League. But managers do seem to get sacked very regularly nowadays, which is a big shame. It just seems like there's no loyalty with the owners and the managers, and things can go from here to sour very, very quickly. I can't quote what Mowbray said at the end of the Millwall conference, at the end of the full time, with a 1-1 draw, but it did kind of sound a bit like a farewell in a way, because he's not normally a little bit negative, and he kind of was, and kind of saying that they're struggling the strikers are not scoring and they're not getting like the balls in, but they are. And like I said yesterday, they're just not finishing that final product. And who do you blame? Like anyone can have their different says in that. Was that Beatman, KLD for not pumping money in the summer, firstly? Or does Mowbray have a good team? I mean, they're very young, but they're very passionate, very determined. Like I said, possession-wise, the shots we're having, just not on target, very good. The chances we're having are very high as well, and we're always dominating team, or mostly, and we're just not getting the 3 points needed and wasting opportunity, like kind of the Sunderland way, really, isn't it? So they're the three main ones that I took. They block up other speculations there, but what do you think? Let me know in the comments, what do you think is the reason why Mowbray was sacked? And again, like I asked yesterday, is it the right decision, or is it a massive mistake and it's going to cost us dearly in the next half of the football season? And that's the sad thing, is we will never know come the end of the season where we would have finished if Mowbray had still stayed. So people again could be like, well, with Mowbray we might have made a play. Yeah, but we will never know. So all I'm going to say is whoever next comes in as Sunderland manager, good luck, and don't go on a bad run of form, else your job's gone and we're coming in for another one. So I'm going to leave you with the question is, who would you like to be the next manager at Sunderland Football Club? There's a few that are in there in the favourites, and a few that I would like that are also still in there as the favourites. First of all, I'm going to start off with Stephen Schumacher, current Plymouth Argyle manager, and he is doing a fantastic job there at Argyle. I personally don't think, he's up there in the top 5 or the favourites on the bookies odds. I don't think he will leave Plymouth. He's building a very good team there. The fans love him. Like I said, he can do no wrong. If they stay in the Championship, Plymouth are very happy to just stay up at the moment. Obviously, they do want to build, and they're looking very likely to do that as well. I've seen Plymouth play 3 times, once last season, recently anyway, once last season, twice this season. Haven't seen them concede a single goal. So they have something very right there, and they took their chances the other day. They put them away. Whittaker, absolutely fantastic goal. What a brilliant player. And yeah, I just can't see him leaving. The next one that's up there is Will Still. Now, perfectly honest, I haven't actually heard of him or hadn't heard of him, but on researching and seeing, he's actually doing a very good job at Reims at the moment in the French League 1. They're 11th in the league. And yeah, I mean, I can't comment on it, but he's up there as one of the favourite. Potentially, would you want him? Let me know. Then the last two notable mentions in a way is Paul Heckingbottom, who just left Sheffield United, a bit sacked because they're not doing very well in their league, but they're in the Premier League, and maybe I don't know what's going on there at Sheffield United. I don't know really if that can fault or not, but I mean, going for a manager who is struggling to keep their team up in the Premier League, which is a league that we're hoping to get back to, is that the right choice? Maybe not. So there's that one. Then lastly, who is a player, an ex-player of ours, Kevin Phillips, who was South Shield manager, who left South Shield, not in a bad note at all. Sheila Walker took over there. Again, ex-player, very good player, was one of my favourites. And he has always said, Kevin Phillips says, that he would always love to manage Sunderland when the time is right. No, he's out of a job. It's the time right now. We're in a championship. It's a great step up. I mean, a big step up, I do agree. Maybe taking over at Harrogate or something and then building from there. But we should take Kevin Phillips back. Or is it a kind of situation like Frank Lampard had, where even though you're a legend at that football club, remember your technical, your legendary status is in jeopardy if you do terrible. Then I mean, you know, Frank Lampard, I'm sure Chelsea fans all still love him, but as a manager it was terrible, so it ended in a bit of a bad note. So would we want that from Kevin Phillips, to potentially think of him as, yeah, a good player, terrible manager though? No, we wouldn't want that, but he could do a fantastic job, and we'll never know, and he'll never know if he never takes the job, and he will never even step forward to the job. But he is up on there on the favourites as well, so potentially Kevin Phillips. There is a few other ones I've seen. I can't remember the name, to be perfectly honest with you. But again, like I said before, who would you take as Sunderland manager? So if you have enjoyed what you've heard and what you've seen today, especially behind as well, even if you don't like what I'm talking about, look at behind it. I've worked very hard doing this. So if you have enjoyed that one, please subscribe to the channel. I'm literally 2 subscribers off 700, and then only 300 more until 1,000. And I really, really want to get there. And this is why I'm doing things like this, improving, making a studio. And I'll be bringing out football vlogs. I'll be bringing out content like this. Even better, I'm going to continuously grow and work out new ways and better ways to bring it across information. I do not ever pretend that I am an expert at anything. A lot of you will know more than me. Like I said, I live in Devon, but I have my reasons why I support Sunderland. If you ever want to know, by all means message me. Happy to let you know. And I just speak from the heart. I speak from what I see, and I don't like scripted things. I put, notes in occasionally, but it's always my words and what I've read and my opinions, and that's what I like it to be. Same with my football vlogs. I like it to be real. I like it to be from the fans' experience. So if you haven't seen that ground or not been to that ground before, I like that kind of aspect. I also really, really like non-league football as well. So check out my other videos if you haven't seen them before. Subscribe, like the video as well, and look out for more content like this, as well as in the new year I potentially could be collaborating with a certain YouTuber on a massive project. So stick around to find out what that is. Goodbye.